Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Nalitz. I'm sure you've seen me around school before. I wish we were having a normal meeting in class and taking a tour around the art room and getting to know each other face to face, but we'll keep doing this until we can get back. So how are we going to go about doing this? I'll give you a project, just one every week, something totally doable. You're not going to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to bury you in work, and I'll try to make it easy for as far as materials go, things you would just have laying around the house in most cases, but always just do the best you can with whatever you have. I'll accept just about anything, but reach for the top, you know, as we always do. So I'm going to teach you about a couple of things. I'm going to teach you about the creative process. I'm going to show you how to use overlapping in your work and just looking at composition, types of composition, and how to plan out your work. We're going to go about this by using the creative process, which is thumbnails to sketch to a comprehensive drawing to a finish. And this is the way artists usually work. Okay. So what do you need? You need 2 or 3 pieces of paper. I had 3, 2 blanks, and then one I could just lay underneath the paper to draw on. You need a pencil and an eraser and some type of colored media. I used colored pencil. You could use markers or crayons or even paints, whatever you have, okay? Colored pencils are probably the easiest, and I bet you have some. So let's get started. All right, so step 1. We are going to combine images with the text in our name. If you have a name that has about 5, 6 letters in it, first or last, either one is fine. If your name is xylophone, something really long, maybe you can use a nickname, use your best judgment, but you know, I just want to fill the paper pretty reasonably. So what am I going to do first? I'm going to take the paper and fold it. I'm going to fold it once this way, and then I'm going to fold it this way and this way. So that's the hardest fold. Can you guess how many boxes there's going to be? 6, right? So I've just made 6 separate sections on my paper. I'm going to write down my name. I'm going to do my first name. I just write it right down here to help me remember what I'm working on. I try to write my name 6 different ways. Let's start off with just the basic way. I'm going to do all caps. I was like, I can't think of anything else to do. What should I do? Well, what would be the total opposite of this? Well, this is printed and it's all caps, so I'll do cursive, all lowercase. That looks okay. I want to do something really stylized, something fancier, so I think I'll do really tall letters. And remember, this isn't supposed to take a lot of time. Don't pour out all of your hard work on the thumbnails. This is just testing the waters. I don't know about that. Let me try something that's just off the wall here. Maybe I'm going to stagger the letters. This looks pretty cool. So you understand what I want you to do, I think. And let's come back when we have all of these done. Okay, part 2. Flip the paper over. The boxes really aren't as important this time, but I'll use them anyway. I'm going to make a list of 5 to 10 things that I like. Okay, I like paintings. I like books. I like dogs. Basketball. What do you like? Probably. Some of them will be the same. Maybe there's some people out there that like basketball. I like plants. I like gardening, and I like all the different variety of plants and knowing about them. Old cars. and trucks. I like the old trucks, the 70s and 80s Chevy trucks I really like. I'm thinking about getting one. I used to have them. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do a couple more. What else do I like? Fishing. And I really love pizza. I make a great homemade pizza, food, anything that you like, okay? So then I want you to take each one of these and create a drawing that represents that. Some of them are going to be very straightforward, like my first one that I said I liked was painting. You can use the rest of the space. These are not the finished drawing, so again, don't pour out all of your beautiful detail on the first. Okay, let's just do something. Here's like a fancy painting from a museum. There's the Mona Lisa is in here. I'm not going to really draw the Mona Lisa, although I could, but it's not important right now. Get enough down. Get a good one. If you need to go look up a picture, look it up on your phone, look it up on the computer, find a book with a picture of an old truck. This is what I will do. I can have it pretty good by memory because I like them so much. But, you know, I'll just go right through there. There's my old truck. Headlights and the windshield. There's the tires. And I'll put more. Good enough. Okay. Do some research. Some people don't have all of these things memorized in their mind yet. The basketball is pretty easy. I'll just draw a circle. But then the lines on it, I'll show the form of the object. Curves. There's one that goes this way. And then this goes around like that. You can see a little bit of this one here. Alright, so you know what to do. Let's just say we're going to do minimum 5, maximum 10 of these small drawings, okay? I'm going to do mine and then I'll come back. Alright, so kind of by accident, just because I'm running out of space on the paper, I'm starting to get some overlapping. So when you put two elements of a work of art close together, kind of showing that there's a relationship between them, but you can put a lot more on the work of art, and it's more interesting, I think, than to just put one thing here, one thing here, one thing, you know what I mean? Having things overlap and working with scale, I think, is really where it's at, where this project is concerned. Like, this already looks really cool to me. I got the painting that's like, I don't want to show like a old-fashioned painting. I want to show like the act of painting. So I drew a great big brush, and there's a big puddle of paint, but then here's the car driving through the puddle of paint. That's pretty neat. I drew like a potted plant with flowers. And I was like, I don't know if that's really the message I want to send to my viewer about me, about looks like an Easter basket or something like that. That's not my vibe. So I was drawing some of these kind of plants that I'd like to plant outside and work on taking care of. I have like a really cool pointed, this is like a juniper or something like that. It depends on what your interests are. Of course, I'm going to be different than you. Can't wait to see what you do. Here's my puppy that I have. It's kind of just right off the top of my head. I might go get her and look at her to get a better drawing. Pizza, of course, my favorite. Basketball. When I thought about fishing, like, how do I want to represent that? How am I going to communicate that I like fishing to the person that looks at my artwork? And I think of catching a fish, you know. So you've probably seen an image like this before, a bent fishing rod, pulling the fish out of the water. I might change it. I'm not sure, because I'm going to take all of these images in the next step and integrate them with my lettering design, put it together to make something. This is called synthesis. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing next. So make sure you have a good lettering design that you really like, even if you have to do more, and have these as a reference to look at. Now that you've done all this work, you can go from here on the finish. All right, let's do it. All right, so I don't know how many works of art you created. I like to make a little bit of a line around to tell myself, in this case, it's a closed composition. I want everything on the paper. In some cases you have, in works of art, you have things going off the edges of the paper. It's called an open composition. It lets people know the world goes on beyond this picture. But in this case, this is more like a work, like commercial art or applied art. And this might become a sticker or a design on the back of a backpack or anything. It's more along those lines. We're going to do a close composition, so I'm going to stay away from the edges as much as I can and see what happens. So I'm going to look at my drawing from before of my lettering and draw. This staggered a little bit. I have a chance now to do it even better, but I do want to fill the page. So if I look at it and it's not big enough, when I go over it the next time, I'm going to fix. So I think I'm going to curve this. It was straight before. This is going to be the big loop at the top of my J. I want to make this go through the J and become the A. That's neat. And this kind of just goes into that. They're connecting. I'm already starting to do some overlapping. I'm not sure about that part. I'm going to start drawing lightly because I'll probably make changes. I'm looking right at my original sketch as I do this, but I have to make it bigger. This is part of the challenge for you. Okay. Now you have all week to get this project done. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can take a break, stop, you can do rework. I'll show you how to turn it in at the very end. But so this is curling back into itself, so I'm going to do that here too and see how that went. I guess it's okay. This should be bigger. Alright. So I'm going to fix this up and come back when I have that done. Alright, so here I am integrating the drawings with the lettering. I'm taking the O and making it into the basketball. It's just, it was made for it. You can choose to make some of the letters into the objects, or you can put the objects in the composition. I'm putting a line of these trees that I like in the background behind the letters. I have kind of like a landscape in the back, and here's my old-fashioned truck that I like, antique truck going across the hill. That'll kind of come out. Maybe I'll put the sun shining behind it or something. I'm not sure about the rest. Let's see. I got the plants. I got the truck. I don't have the painting or the dog. Maybe I'll put the dog here. His head is going to be popping out of one of these holes. Let me find a good one for him. Or maybe he could stand right here. As long as it's still readable. You can still read. Yeah, I think it'd be cute right here. This is where the dog is going to be. Wagging the tail. As long as you don't make it so the person can't read the lettering. I don't like that. This is still kind of the sketch. Alright. Maybe I should just do the pause and have the dog looking through the hole. Yeah, that's better. So I want to work on this a little bit more. You do the same thing. We'll come back and we'll look at how to finish it. Okay, so we're getting very close here. So I'm gonna clean it all up really good. I want this to be a color finish, so I'm not gonna make really dark pencil marks. I don't even want the pencil to show very much, but I did come up with some pretty good solutions, I thought, to the challenge. I have the paintbrush painting across this swash. The pizza we already showed here. I am sitting here fishing. It's just kind of a guy, you know, like just a generic guy. I'm not trying to do a portrait or anything like that. There's my dog coming out from the inside of the J and the plants and everything that I showed earlier. Here's a cool hint. If you want to get a really nice clean copy, just put a piece over it and hold it up to the window and trace it. Put it right on the glass when it's light out, of course. put it right on the glass, and you can get a clean trace of your drawing. I think mine's clean enough if I just go in and erase it, but if you made a lot of extra marks and you don't need a light table to trace, you can use a window. I do it all the time. And you'll see, oh yeah, so get a clean piece if you have a very, very sloppy initial drawing, and just get a clean trace, and don't trace any of the stuff you don't want. Trace only the good parts. It's another stage in the development. Very, very common. Just do a clean tracing. So I'm going to color this all in after I clean it up really good, and then we'll see what it looks like. I'm thinking I'll color it all in, and then I'll do the lines in pen. Alright, I'll leave that up to you. You could color it, I don't know if you have markers. Markers are going to be a lot faster. I'm going to do colored pencil, maybe do the line work with a different colored pencil, or maybe I'll use like a ink pen. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I made an example of what not to do. This example has no overlapping. There's no synthesis. Nothing is turning into anything else, or becoming part of something else except the basketball here. I still did that. I've done an unoriginal idea with this color palette and brush, but they're separated from everything else. And if you've done anything like this, you should go back and redo it. So I'm going to color in a little bit. I've cleaned up the drawing, and I'm just going to start coloring in like a little tentatively, meaning like I'm not going all the way with my first step. I'll do the sky lightly. I'll color everything in kind of lightly, and then I'll decide what I want to emphasize, what I want to punch up, make darker, maybe mix some colors, push the colored pencil deeper into the paper and rub it in more firmly to get a brighter result. So I'm going to color this all in, and I'll decide once I do that how I want to finish it, if I want to do outlines or if it's good as is. It'll be up to you. So I was talking about this using an objective color scheme, which just means exactly what colors it would be. There would never be a green sky and blue grass in the real world. Of course, when you make art, a lot of times you make the decisions, and that's called a subjective color scheme. It's up to you. I remember that by thinking like subjective. If I go to Subway, I can get whatever I want on the sandwich. If I have a subjective color scheme, I can use whatever colors I want. But I don't have any way to help you remember objective, except if you think an object is whatever color it is, and you can't change that really. Like this bottle is blue, this object is blue, and so I would paint it blue if I was using an objective color scheme on that object. So I'll color this all in. I'm thinking about the rainbow. Goes like red. What is it? You know it. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I'll try to actually make it an objectively colored rainbow. I don't think you need to sit here and watch me color everything in. So this could take you a couple of days. You don't have to do it all in one sitting, as I said. But I can't wait to see what you've done, and it might be a struggle. Don't take the easy way out. If you're not happy with it after working on it for a half an hour, start all over again. It's the best thing you can do. Okay? Don't stick with something you're not happy with. You're not going to like it. All right? Let's see what you come up with. I think I did a pretty decent job. I've got overlapping, I've integrated and synthesized all the elements together. I colored it in. I tried to use good craftsmanship when I did the coloring job. And I said, well, you could outline it if you want to, if you get to that point and you want to. And I do in this case. I'm going to just choose what I outline and what I don't. But I'm going to use a black pen, And I'll probably outline the lettering and some of the stuff in the foreground. I'm going to do the silhouette of the truck in black. And that'll be it. You don't have to outline it if you're good at this point. That would be it. Take a picture of it and send it to me on Parent Square, or you can send it to me to my email. I'll have that information in the video. And that's it, and you'll be good to go.